This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
How are you doing, Jason Glick?
I'm doing all right, John. Yourself?
All right. I'm doing all right. What do you have on tap for us tonight?
Okay. Well, this is coming back to something that I reviewed over 3 years ago, back in January of 2013. The first two volumes of Attack on Titan. Now, I picked these up from Kodansha during a Right Stuff sale because I thought, these look kind of appealing to like a slightly older audience than the standard shonen title. And so I figured, I might as well give this a shot, seeing if they can give my 30-year-old self something to be interested in. Oh God, I was wrong, because I read these first two volumes, found the art to be appalling, and the overall plotting to be fairly generic, and not all that impressive. Basically, it's I generally try to be optimistic when I buy the first volume of the series. I think, I asked, is there the potential for this to get better? Reading these first two volumes of Attack on Titan really kind of left me the feeling that no. It's this Hajime Isayama guy was kind of a hack, and I can safely ignore this series and not bother with it, and not bother with it any further, because you may have been really popular in Japan, but hey, it's it's gonna blow up over here in America. 3 months later, the Attack on Titan anime premiered, and it turned out to be the next big gateway drug for anime fans, to bring in anime fans on this side of the Pacific. It's basically it's still an immensely popular series. It's new volumes are routinely top the New York Times bestseller list. You can see tons of cosplayers at any anime convention. It's kind of like a generational thing. Some people can say I was brought into anime by Evangelion, or I was brought to anime by Cowboy Bebop, or I was brought anime by Dragon Ball Z. It's you got an entire generation now who can probably say I was brought into anime by Attack on Titan. So and as the series blew up, I kept thinking maybe I need to go and maybe give this series another shot at some point. But I went and sold the 2 volumes I got, because I thought, fuck this, I'm not going to bother with it anymore. So when trying to reconsider the series, I always thought, hey, I've got to how do I get over the fact that hey, I sold the 2 volumes I bought, but don't actually want to rebuy them again in order to offer a second opinion. Well, I'll tell you about how I did that in a second, but the thing that actually got me, that actually prompted this whole podcast and would have served as a sole basis for it up until about, say, 48 hours ago, was the Attack on Titan anthology released by Kodansha Comics in the U.S. Now, while it kind of probably goes without saying after what I just said, that Attack on Titan has a huge fan base here in the U.S., but that doesn't extend to fans. That also extends to American creators who also like the series as well. And apparently there's enough of them that Kodansha was able to work out a deal where you had lots of American comic creators contributed to did their own shorts for this anthology. So I thought, hey, this actually sounds interesting. And now I've generally liked, I've not been entirely averse to American takes on anime properties, mainly through the sole efforts of Adam Warren's Dirty Pair series over the years. 6 volumes, fantastic stuff, well worth it if you can dig it up. He also did a Bubblegum Crisis series, which I need to go and reread because I didn't think it was bad. It wasn't on par with his Dirty Pair stuff. But it's hey, American creators taking a crack at a Japanese creation with the approval of the creator. Well, that sounds interesting, and hey, I'd at least like to go and buy the volume just so we can support stuff like this in the future. Well, how did this turn out? Gee, would it surprise you to know that this anthology is really uneven, with some really good stories and some real clunkers as well? Huh? Would ya? Yeah, it's it's like I was entertained by it, but there's no denying that it's deeply uneven as well. And even then, like, the bad stuff isn't exactly terrible, but it just leaves you the feeling that, hey, did these people really engage with the license at all? Like, in this, and the film and the anthology gets off on the worst foot with the first story, which is called Under the Surface, and was one of the ones that I was really looking forward to, because I'd heard that Scott Snyder, writer of Batman, American Vampire, Witches, was writing this, and so I figured, hey, this is okay, if he's taking this on, well, this sounds interesting, and he's working with his American Vampire collaborator Raphael Albuquerque on the art. Well, this is good. Get to the anthology itself. Oh, and you've also got, apparently he co-wrote this with Ray Fox, who also worked on, I believe it was either Batman Eternal or Batman and Robin Eternal, but there's precedent there. But this first story is takes place in the year 2030, where you got this documentarian who's trying to force his crew to get out over the ocean to give this land hope. This is a land where people are living in tent cities on bridges. There's open conflict with the police. It's then things are going to shit in post-Trump America. Yeah, I just said that. And then he wants to show people that there's evidence the whales are coming back. There is something we can have hope for. And well, no. On the very last page, we find out that no, it's not the whales that are coming back. It turns out this is the Titans are showing up. And it's like the problem with this story is that you could swap out that last page with anything. I mean, you could say that it's like, hey, it's the Sentinels from X-Men that are coming back. Oh, hey, it's the God Warriors from Nausicaa that are coming back. It's like, it's Godzilla showing up with all of his kids. It's like, and it wouldn't have changed a goddamn thing. So that's the problem. I mean, it doesn't really interact with the license at any meaningful level. That's also a problem with Cy Spurrier's story, Fee Fi Fo, which it seems like he went and used this story as kind of as a way to show England's have England's history interact with its history of giant stories like Jack and the Beanstalk and whatnot. And to be honest, compared to Snyder and Fox's story, it's actually a good one, showing a arrogant village head who is who basically ignores all the rituals they've ascribed to dealing with the Titans, and showing how they're dealt with over the cliffs of Dover, and how he actually learns to embrace real sacrifice in order to save his village. Like I said, it's a good story, but but is it something that's feels really tied to the Attack on Titan universe? Not so much. I mean, they're, like I said, some of these, and like I said, some of these are these are, like I said, so even if they're not terrible stories, they don't feel like they're interacting with the material in a meaningful manner. Some of them, Memory Maze by the Hanukkah brothers, or Bahamut by Ronald Wimberly, they just feel like, hey, it's like there is a attempt to engage in the material. Like Bahamut revolves around a play set involving Titans, and Memory Maze has a old member of the Survey Corps, dealing with the loss of a kid. They're not bad. I mean, you could take, it's like assume that they're that they've you can at least make the assumption that that these creators have actually read it. Same goes from Rihanna Pratchett and Jorge Corona's Skies Above, which has which doesn't have a lot of Titans, but has two university students trying to find their way over the walls on their own terms. That's a nice story of these two people trying to overcome odds and embracing the corruption that I've seen involving the military police brigade from the Attack on Titan world. Then, okay, you've also got stuff like Attack on Playtime, where Sam Humphries and Damian Scott basically have have an elementary school girl and her Titan playmate exact bloody revenge on all the teachers that have oppressed her. And that sounds completely unrealistic until you consider there's been an Attack on Titan junior high series that shows the characters and the Titans interacting as if they were in junior high. See, and what else? Oh, Attack on Demon Con, which is the Batgirl team of Brendan Fletcher, Cameron Stewart, and Babs Tarr, basically doing a cosplay PSA. It's like using Attack on Titan character or Attack on Titan symbols, as like these girls cosplaying as sexy Titans encounter some members of the guys cosplaying as Survey Corps who get a little grabby with their hands, and then it goes straight into pure like fantasy before going back to reality to show you this is what actually happened. So it's like they're like, these are not bad, these are interesting, but for me it's like the best stories are the ones that actually feel like they could have taken place in the in the series in the world of Attack on Titan itself, such as Michael Oeming's Live and Let Die. It's like where a member of the Survey Corps finds a group of people living outside the walls because they feel that things are too oppressive inside, and his art is really great for nailing the kinetic feeling of action that it's like in the series, and it's like, and the straight up parody of Even Dorkin's Even Dorkin and Sarah Dyer's Attack on Titan, which is basically four panel strips that basically just take really rip into like a lot of the conventions with the series, such as what happens, like how did the members of Survey Corps use the bathroom when I got all the wires cutting up into their junk and all. It's like, or what the idea that, hey, the Titans don't go after livestock. How do we have people dress up as animals in order to get around this? Whoops, that didn't work. It's like these are great fun, and as is the multi-part An Illustrated Guide to the Glorious Walled Cities from Genevieve Valentine and David Lopez, structured like an oldie English travelogue. The first two installments are pretty straightforward, and you get the feeling that she's kind of filling in, doing bits of world building for the other cities in the Attack on Titan universe on her own license, until you get to the last two installments where you realize that apparently the lady who was writing this had some real issues with how the kingdom was censoring her approach, and then you get to the last one, which basically you get the impression that she was there the day the walls came down, and and was kind of like squashed by the government as a result. Still, though, my favorite story in the collection is from a creator that I really like, Faith Erin Hicks, and she managed the neat trick of basically telling a story that exists, that could fully exist off to the side of the main story, before taking a gleefully ridiculous twist at the end. Now, it basically has it starts off showing two street urchins who found a joke of a joke book like in an abandoned house, and they're like, "Oh, this is hilarious!" It's like this really cheeseball jokes like why did the robber wash his clothes before he ran away with the loot? He wanted to make a clean getaway. And they think this is hilarious because they realize, hey, this is a world that has not had any real humor or lightness to it. It's since the advent of the Titans. And true enough, you find out that the first part of the story takes place right the first time the Colossal Titan shows up in the series. Cut to 5 years later, around the time when the series itself began, and these urchins have now joined the Survey Corps. Well, it shows them, trying to stick to their commitment of fighting off the Titans on their own terms. But then it turns out that the jokes they've learned have a like have an unexpected effect on the Titans when they hear it. So it completely breaks any connection this strip would have to the Attack on Titan proper, but it still does it in a great, hilarious way that I ultimately loved. And it's also the only story, well, aside from the Attack on Titan strips, that actually has cameos from the cast proper in the form of Mikasa and Levi. And it earns those cameos. It's really fun, and it's like if they ever decide to do a second Attack on Titan anthology, please bring back Hicks, bring back Dorkin and Dwyer, bring back Valentine. So yeah, they were the highlights. Everything else, not terrible, but it will kind of make you wonder, like, did these people actually read the series, or were they just entranced by the idea of working on this immensely popular series. Now, thanks to the magic of Amazon over on Black Friday, I actually found a way to make the Attack on Titan Colossal Edition, which is a collection of the first 5 volumes of the series, actually really cheap. So I managed to get over my issues with rebuying the first 2 volumes. And so after having read the first 5 volumes in the series now, and the Attack on Titan anthology, and with my knowledge that this is one of the most popular series in American fandom, so how do I feel about the series now? Feels like I'm getting too old for this shit, really. Like reading the subsequent 3 volumes, it's like Isayama's art, well, to be honest, guy's still kind of a hack. If he gets better, I'd love to know if he gets better after volume 5, but even though he's got nicer eye for how to stage compelling 2-page spreads, but he's just not good with character anatomy or emotion or emotional scenes. It's like I said, I gave the nod that maybe he's kind of like Japan's Rob Liefeld, like in my initial review. It's like he's probably better than that, really, but it's like he's still not all that impressive an artist. And reading these 3 subsequent volumes, it feels like there's a lot of convention being followed here, just in the form of the quirky leader who shows up in the form of Dot Pixel, the badass who everyone loves working under in the form of Levi. It's like, and it just feels like the setting is interesting, the concept is nice, but I just don't feel like I'm getting anything really really new here. It's just kind of a take on familiar end of the world tropes for a new generation. It's like all this end of the world stuff, or people fighting back against a corrupt trying to save the world within a corrupt system. It's I've seen this before. It's and it's all too familiar to me from a genre standpoint. It's I can't say it's necessarily terrible compared to my initial opinion of it, but I just wonder, hey, do I want to invest in another $25 in $25, assuming I can find Colossal Editions volumes 2 and 3 to see if the series gets any better from here. But it just didn't inspire me. It's all that much. I mean, it just it just felt too familiar, too tropey to really grab my attention in the end. And it also kind of reminded me of the fact that another big I wouldn't say it's a seinen series, but it's still more violent than for a shonen series called Tokyo Ghoul that I got the first 6 volumes digitally from a bundle on Comixology earlier this year, and because I saw it was popular, and I thought, hey, this looks like substantially a little bit more mature than your average shonen series, so I'll give it a shot. And I get like a half-baked X-Men copy in the sense that hey, you've got this kid who finds who after he's attacked by this ghoul ends up being turned into a human ghoul hybrid and like being no longer human and having to fall into this ghoul underground and all. It's like dealing with the ghouls who are nice and trying to find a way to live without consuming human guts, and the ghouls other ghouls who are just like, hey, we're gonna feast on humans as much as we can. It's like without having them having their law enforcement come down upon us. And like I said, I read X-Men, as you well know, and the main character's desire to find a third way that allows humans to coexist with ghouls just felt bah, like boring, unoriginal, and just queuing too close to the genre like trope book. Why didn't I mention this on the blog earlier this year? Well, because I just couldn't be bothered. It wasn't that honestly wasn't that impressive, but that's the same vibe I get from Attack on Titan. Like I said, and if I read this when I was 15, I probably would have loved this shit because it's because it's violent. It was doing stuff different that I hadn't been completely ruined for in terms of genre and all. But it's in the end, it's like reading between stuff like this and Tokyo Ghoul. I kind of wonder, am I getting too old for this shonen or any kind of manga that isn't seinen and everything? But then I realized that you've got stuff like One Punch Man and Assassination Classroom, which actually do shonen tropes with a great amount of self-awareness. It's and energy and inventiveness. So hey, so if you like Attack on Titan, more power to you. But I'm going to stick with what I feel are superior stuff, like I said, like One Punch Man and Assassination Classroom, and hopefully it's like any other good quality shonen stuff that comes out in the future. Though to be honest, my big wish for next year is that Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon as it's known, by its Englishy title, becomes the next big thing. It's because I've read the Scanlation of that, and that is an amazing series. Go buy it as soon as you can, because as soon as it comes out over here from Yen Press, it is amazing. But I guess I'm rambling at this point. So, John, any particular thoughts on your end about this whole Attack on Titan business?
You're never too old. However, no, but it's it really wasn't it's not a series that I was really interested in, honestly. So I didn't have a lot of ties to want to go and see it. Although I don't think that I'm too old for shonen. So anyway, so what do you have on tap for us next week?
Well, speaking of X-Men, I've finally, by the time our next podcast arrives, I'll have got the last installment in the Apocalypse Wars event that came out earlier this year. So I'm going to be talking about the latest X-Men event because I love talking about X-Men events.
Yes. All right. Well, it sounds great, and we can look forward to that, and we'll catch up next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Right, later.
Bye.